Welcome to Healthy Aging Blueprint, your trusted space for simple, effective tips to help seniors live healthier, happier, and more meaningful lives. Whether you're stepping into retirement or supporting a parent or grandparent on their wellness journey, this channel is for you. Together, we'll explore real-life experiences, healthy daily habits, and a positive mindset to help you wake up each day with energy, joy, and purpose. Have you ever stumbled so suddenly that your heart skipped a beat? And for a split second, you thought you were going down? What if that near fall wasn't just an accident, but a quiet warning sign that your balance, your confidence, and even your independence are slipping away? And what if the everyday choices you make, especially after 60, are slowly stealing your stability without you even noticing? I've had that moment, the panic, the arms flailing, the desperate grasp for something to keep me upright. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a trip. It was a wake-up call. In this video, I'm revealing 8 common mistakes that can quietly rob you of your sense of balance. These are everyday habits, often so familiar we hardly think twice, but they may be putting you at serious risk, especially if you're a woman over 60. Stick with me to the end, because mistake number 6, it changed everything for me. It was the moment I hit the floor, and the lesson I learned that day is one I'll never forget. Knowing this could protect your freedom and help you feel stronger, steadier, and more in control starting today. Before we begin, if you find this video helpful, I'd truly appreciate it if you hit that like button. It helps me share these lessons with more people who need them. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd encourage you to do so and turn on the bell so you won't miss any future videos. And just so I know who's watching until the end, comment 1 if this video helps you, or 0 if you think it could be better. Your feedback means a lot. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, wearing the wrong shoes. When it comes to improving balance, many people think of exercise routines, physical therapy, or maybe even medication. But one of the most overlooked factors, especially among older women, is something far simpler and much closer to the ground: our shoes. Your footwear has a direct impact on your stability, and choosing the wrong shoes can quietly set you up for stumbles, trips, or even dangerous falls. For years, I was completely loyal to my ballet flats. They were stylish, lightweight, and incredibly easy to slip on. So naturally, they became my go-to choice. I wore those ballet flats everywhere, from quick errands to casual afternoons out. I thought they were perfectly fine, comfortable, lightweight, easy to match with anything. But that illusion shattered one sunny afternoon. I was walking along a sidewalk I knew well, just a short stroll near my home, when the thin sole of my flat caught the edge of a slightly uneven patch of pavement. It happened so fast. One second I was upright, the next I was lunging forward, arms flailing, barely missing a face-first fall into a rose bush. Not just any rose bush, a thorny one. That close call wasn't just embarrassing, it shook me. And it made me realize something crucial. My choice in footwear could have real consequences. As we age, our feet go through subtle yet important changes that affect balance and stability. The arches that once gave us strong support may start to flatten. The fat pads on the soles of our feet, which cushion every step, begin to thin out, leaving our bones closer to the ground with less protection. At the same time, the muscles and tendons in our legs and ankles lose some of their strength and quick response, making it harder to recover when we stumble. If you're still here watching and finding these lessons helpful, I'd love to know. Please comment the number 1 below to let me know you're still with me. I appreciate your time more than you know. Now let's talk about mistake number 2, skipping strength training. When I first started thinking about what really affects balance, strength training didn't even enter my mind. Like many women in my age group, I associated strength workouts with young people in gyms, lifting heavy weights, sweating through intense workouts, all while loud music blared in the background and spandex outfits ruled the room. That lifestyle felt worlds away from mine. I thought my daily activities, Walking around the neighborhood, tending to my garden, staying busy with household chores were enough to keep me strong and active. But I was wrong. And that realization hit me unexpectedly the day I struggled to stand up from a low armchair. I had to use both arms to push myself up, and even then, it wasn't easy. That simple act felt like a wake-up call. The issue? Muscle loss, also known as sarcopenia, which begins quietly in our 30s and accelerates after we turn 50. Most people don't notice it happening at first, but year after year, we naturally lose about 1 to 2% of our muscle mass if we're not doing anything to maintain it. By the time we reach our 60s, the loss becomes obvious in how we move, how steady we feel, and how easily we recover from little missteps. It's not just about looking toned or fit. Weaker muscles can slow down your reaction time, make it harder to regain balance, and reduce your ability to recover quickly if you start to fall. What surprised me most was how sneaky this process is. You don't notice the change right away. It creeps in, and suddenly you find that what used to be easy, like carrying groceries or getting out of a chair, now feels like effort. But here's the encouraging news. Muscle loss is reversible, and getting stronger doesn't mean signing up for an expensive gym membership or lifting heavy barbells. You can start small, right from home. That's exactly what I did. I bought a pair of light dumbbells from a local store, nothing fancy, and kept them next to my living room couch. I began adding simple strength exercises into my daily routine, often while watching TV or listening to a podcast. I started small, incorporating strength exercises right into my evening routine while watching TV. I added simple movements like bicep curls, shoulder presses, wall push-ups, and seated leg lifts. On days when I didn't feel up to using weights, I turned to bodyweight exercises. I practiced standing on one leg to improve balance, or did slow, controlled chair squats to build strength in my thighs. And the results? They came faster than I expected. Within just a few weeks, I noticed it was easier to get up from the couch without pushing off with my hands. Carrying groceries didn't leave me winded or uneasy. I even found myself walking up hills with more energy and confidence than I had in years. But what really stood out was how strength training changed the way my body responded to surprises. You know that split-second moment when you trip or misstep? That's when your muscles need to kick in, fast. If your legs, hips, and core aren't strong and responsive, your body may not react quickly enough to stop the fall. That's when serious injuries happen. With consistent training, I felt my muscles becoming more responsive, more ready to catch me before I lost my balance. That gave me a sense of control I hadn't even realized I'd lost. Beyond the physical benefits, strength training did something else. It shifted my mindset. Feeling physically stronger started to make me feel emotionally stronger too. I stopped avoiding uneven sidewalks, skipped curbs, or flights of stairs. Not because they weren't still challenging, but because I stopped being afraid. With every step I took, I felt my confidence return, and along with it, a powerful sense of independence. And here's the best part. You don't need to train like an athlete. You don't need fancy equipment, a gym membership, or hours of free time. Just 10 to 15 minutes of strength exercises 3 times a week can bring noticeable changes. You can do them at home, in your most comfortable clothes, with no pressure to perform or compete. Every small improvement builds more than just muscle. It builds resilience, the ability to protect yourself not just from falls, but from the fear of falling. And that makes all the difference. Now, let's talk about mistake number 3, ignoring vision changes. At first glance, eyesight may not seem directly related to balance, but the connection is far stronger than most people realize. Our eyes constantly send vital information to our brain, helping us judge where we are in space, how far away objects are, how high a step is, or whether there's a shift in the floor ahead. As we age, even subtle changes in our vision can throw this entire system off balance, literally. I learned this firsthand one night when I got up to use the bathroom. Wanting to avoid waking my husband, I skipped turning on the light. The hallway seemed familiar enough, but in the dim light, I misjudged the edge of a small rug. I stepped awkwardly, lost balance, and landed hard, right on my knee. The pain lasted over a week. But what lingered even longer was the shaken feeling I had afterward. That single misstep could have been worse, and it taught me just how much my eyes help protect me from harm when I let them. Vision changes in older adults can be subtle and gradual. You might not notice them day to day, but over time, depth perception weakens. That makes it harder to tell how high a step is or how far you are from a curb. At the same time, contrast sensitivity begins to decline. That means your eyes struggle to detect slight differences in texture or surface, like a rug corner or a change from hardwood to tile. Textures that once seemed obvious, like a rug blending subtly into the floor, start to become harder to detect. And as we age, low-light vision also weakens, making it even more challenging to spot changes in surface levels or small obstacles in dim environments. This combination can quickly lead to disorientation, dizziness, or even sudden vertigo, especially during nighttime hours. For years, I relied on the same old pair of glasses, assuming they were good enough. I hadn't noticed how much my vision had changed until that one painful fall. It finally pushed me to schedule an eye exam, and I was shocked. My prescription had been outdated for quite some time, but more than that, I learned about new lens options that can dramatically improve visibility in specific situations. Anti-glare coatings, lenses designed to enhance contrast in low light. These upgrades seemed minor, but the impact was huge. After updating my glasses, the world became sharper. I could see the edge of each step more clearly. Patterns on rugs no longer faded into the background. I walked through my home and outside with more confidence, no longer second-guessing every step. But vision isn't just about the eyes. It's also about the environment we see. Lighting plays a powerful role in balance. Dimly lit hallways, dark staircases, or shadowy corners in the bathroom can make hazards nearly invisible. After my fall, I took a few small but impactful steps. I installed inexpensive plug-in nightlights in my bedroom, hallway, and bathroom. These little lights created a gentle glow that illuminated my path without disturbing my sleep. It was such a simple change, but it dramatically reduced my chances of stumbling in the dark. I also swapped out the old, dull bulbs in key areas of my home for brighter, warmer ones. It made a surprising difference. Every room felt more welcoming, and I could move with far more ease and security. If your glasses are scratched, out of date, or simply not right for your current vision needs, they may be putting your safety at risk every single day. And if your home has dim corners or poor lighting, you're forcing your eyes to work harder than they should, increasing the risk of a misstep or fall. So, take action. Schedule an eye exam. Clean your lenses regularly. Upgrade your home's lighting where it matters most. Because clear vision isn't just about seeing, it's about staying steady, safe, and sure of every step you take. If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons helpful, please comment the number 2 below so I know you're here with me on this journey. Thank you for staying with me and continuing this journey. Your time is truly appreciated. Mistake number 4, overlooking the side effects of medications. Medications can be powerful tools in protecting our health, but they can also come with hidden risks, especially when it comes to balance. A few years back, I was prescribed a new medication to help manage my blood pressure. I had occasionally felt lightheaded, and I assumed this new prescription would smooth things out. But instead of improving, something unexpected started happening. I began experiencing a subtle, almost dizzying sensation, especially when I stood up from a chair. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe I was just tired or hadn't drunk enough water, but the sensation didn't go away. Then, one evening, as I rose too quickly from the couch, I stumbled into the coffee table. Thankfully, I didn't fall, but the jolt was enough to shake me. That's when I knew I had to look more closely. I pulled out the medication bottle and finally read the fine print, something I should have done earlier. And there it was. May cause dizziness or loss of balance. How many of us glance past those warnings, assuming they won't apply to us? As we grow older, our bodies metabolize medications more slowly and differently. What worked fine in our 50s may become too strong or unpredictable in our 60s or 70s. To make things even trickier, the combination of several medications, whether they're prescriptions, over-the-counter remedies, or even supplements, can interact in surprising ways. Common symptoms like dizziness, fatigue, or lightheadedness might seem harmless but can dramatically impact balance and raise your fall risk. So, what can we do? Be proactive. You know your body better than anyone else. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Start by keeping a detailed record. Write down when the symptom occurs, what you were doing, and how severe it felt. This journal becomes a powerful tool when you speak to your doctor or pharmacist. When I finally shared my concerns with my physician, he carefully reviewed my entire list of medications. He adjusted the dosage of my blood pressure medicine, and just like that, the dizziness stopped. My balance returned, and with it, my peace of mind. It's easy to assume that symptoms like lightheadedness or fatigue are just part of aging, but often, they're not. Trust your instincts. Read your medication labels thoroughly, and never hesitate to ask questions. A small change in dosage or timing might be all it takes to restore your stability and prevent a dangerous fall. By staying informed and speaking up, you're not just managing your health, you're protecting your independence. Because when it comes to balance, even the smallest adjustments can have a life-changing impact. By becoming more aware of medication side effects, you can take meaningful steps toward improving your balance, regaining confidence, and maintaining your independence. These small, intentional adjustments may seem subtle, but over time they allow you to move through your day with greater assurance, reducing the risk of falls and helping you preserve the freedom to live life on your own terms. Mistake number 5. Grabbing furniture instead of using a cane. For years, I proudly told myself I didn't need a cane. I believed I was still strong, steady, and fully capable of getting around on my own. In fact, I wore that belief like a badge of honor. Sure, I occasionally reached out to brace myself on the back of a dining room chair or leaned casually against the kitchen counter. Sometimes, I'd lightly trail my hand along the hallway wall to keep my balance. But in my mind, those were just small, harmless habits, not signs of any real problem. I was wrong. What I had been doing is something so many older adults do without realizing the hidden risks. It's called furniture walking. You might recognize it yourself, reaching for countertops, gripping chair backs, or using walls as makeshift support systems while walking from one room to another. It feels practical and safe, like a clever way to maintain independence without needing a mobility aid. But the truth is, it's a quiet warning that something deeper is happening. Furniture walking is not just a casual behavior. It's a red flag, a signal that your balance has begun to decline. I didn't want to admit it at first. I convinced myself it was just being careful. But looking back, I realized I was actually afraid. Afraid of what it might mean to hold a cane. Would people see me as fragile, weak, or old? Would I see myself differently? Those fears kept me clinging to furniture and convincing myself I was just fine. But deep down, I was avoiding the truth. Then came the moment that changed everything. It was a sunny afternoon, and I was carrying a heavy load across my living room. I was carrying a full laundry basket from the bedroom to the living room. My hands were occupied, so I couldn't reach out for support. As I stepped from the soft, carpeted bedroom floor onto the sleek hardwood hallway, my foot slipped, just slightly. It wasn't a fall, but it was enough to jolt me. My heart pounded as I stumbled forward, nearly crashing into a side table. Clothes spilled across the floor, and I stood frozen, trembling from the shock. That moment made one thing painfully clear. I was far closer to a serious fall than I ever wanted to admit. It hit me like a wave. Furniture wasn't designed to keep me safe. Chairs wobble, countertops aren't always nearby, and walls certainly won't catch you if you stumble. Relying on them was like walking a tightrope without a safety net. I couldn't deny it any longer. My method of staying steady was no longer sustainable. That same week, I walked into a local medical supply store determined to take charge of my safety. I didn't want just any cane. I wanted something that didn't feel clinical or cold, something that suited me. After trying a few, I found it. A lightweight cane with a beautiful floral pattern delicately etched into the handle. The grip fit perfectly in my hand, and for the first time, instead of embarrassment, I felt empowered. It didn't feel like a concession. It felt like taking control. Using that cane changed everything. I stopped reaching for the backs of chairs or feeling panicked when navigating steps or slippery floors. I walked taller, more assured, and my movements felt deliberate, not cautious, but confident. Unlike furniture, this cane was built to support me. It gave me stability, freedom, and reassurance. And here's the surprise. No one pitied me. In fact, people complimented the cane. Friends asked where I had found such a stylish one. They didn't see weakness. They saw strength. They saw a woman who was embracing safety with grace and confidence. Using a cane isn't a sign of giving up. It's a sign that you're listening to your body, taking responsibility, and choosing safety over pride. If you find yourself frequently grabbing furniture or touching walls to stay balanced, it's time to pay attention. That quiet whisper your body is sending? It's worth hearing. There's no shame in using a mobility aid. In fact, with so many beautiful modern options, from foldable canes to adjustable height models in bold colors, you can find one that suits your personality and lifestyle. It's more than just a tool. It's a step toward living more freely and confidently. If you're still watching and these insights are resonating with you, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're still here with me. I truly appreciate your time. When I first signed up for a balance class at the local wellness center, I expected gentle stretching or perhaps some light-seated yoga. I figured it would be calm, easy, and relaxing, nothing too intense. But instead, I found myself standing on one foot, wobbling awkwardly like a toddler just learning to walk. Then came the heel-to-toe walk across the room, and suddenly it felt like I was performing a tightrope act. I was unsteady, self-conscious, and more than a little embarrassed. That first class was humbling, but also eye-opening. It revealed something I hadn't realized until I was forced to face it. I had done virtually nothing over the years to actively maintain my balance. I had taken it for granted, like my ability to blink or breathe. But balance doesn't just stay with us as we age. It quietly slips away unless we intentionally work to preserve it. Aging naturally affects our ability to stay steady. It's not about being clumsy or inattentive. It's about biological changes. Our ankles gradually lose flexibility, our core muscles weaken, and the brain stops engaging in the subtle, instinctive corrections that once kept us stable without thinking. Everyday movements like stepping off a curb or walking on uneven ground start to feel more precarious than they used to. I hadn't realized how much my balance had deteriorated until that moment in class. Trying to stand on one leg for even 10 seconds felt like a real challenge. And walking heel to toe? It might as well have been a circus trick. That class didn't just highlight a weakness, it sparked a turning point. Here's the empowering part. Balance is not lost forever. It can be retrained. No matter your age, whether you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or beyond, your body and brain can still learn, adapt, and improve. So I began small. While brushing my teeth, I'd stand on one leg for 15 seconds, switching to the other side halfway through. In the hallway, I practiced that same heel-to-toe walk, carefully moving along the wall if I needed extra support. I added in gentle side-to-side weight shifts while holding onto the back of a sturdy chair, letting my ankles and core muscles reawaken. These weren't long or exhausting routines, just a few mindful minutes a day, quietly woven into my existing habits. But those minutes added up, and the difference became noticeable. By simply adding a few intentional movements into my daily routine, the results took me by surprise. Within just a few short weeks, I noticed a real transformation. I no longer felt that subtle fear each time I got up from a chair, bracing myself as if a stumble might be waiting. I stopped hesitating at the edge of curbs or gravel pathways, where uneven ground used to make me nervous. One morning, something beautiful happened. I found myself swaying to music in the kitchen, dancing with a carefree rhythm I hadn't felt in years. It wasn't just a physical change, it was emotional. That moment reminded me, balance is about more than not falling. It's about trusting your body again and reclaiming the joy of movement. If you're unsure where to begin, don't worry. There are so many accessible resources out there today. YouTube offers a wide variety of free balance exercise videos designed specifically for seniors. Many are led by physical therapists or experienced instructors who guide you step by step, making each movement feel safe and manageable. Community centers often host low-cost or even free classes, things like Tai Chi, gentle yoga, or senior mobility sessions that are not only great for improving balance, but also create a supportive social environment. And if you're enrolled in certain health insurance plans, like Medicare Advantage, you may already have access to online wellness programs, like Silver Sneakers, which include workout routines that focus on balance and strength. You don't need a fancy gym membership, expensive equipment, or even a large space to get started. All it takes is a sturdy chair, a small area free of obstacles, and a willingness to give it a try. Here's a simple balance routine you can do right at home. Single leg. Stand. Hold on to the back of a chair for support. Lift one foot and balance on the other for 10 to 15 seconds. Then switch sides. Repeat 3 times on each leg. Over time, you may find you can hold it longer, or even do it hands-free. Heel-to-toe walk. Walk in a straight line, placing the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other, like walking on a balance beam. Use a wall for light support if needed. Try 10 slow, steady steps forward, then turn and come back. Weight shifts. Stand with your feet hip-width apart. Slowly shift your weight onto one foot while gently lifting the other a few inches off the floor. Hold for a few seconds, then switch. This exercise helps engage the muscles that keep you steady in everyday movements. Shift your weight to one side and gently lift the opposite foot just an inch or two off the ground. Hold this position for about 5 seconds, then switch sides. Try repeating this movement 5 times per leg. It may feel simple, but these controlled shifts in weight train the muscles that help you stay upright and stable. Start slowly and always listen to your body. Never push past what feels safe or steady. With consistency, these small efforts begin to add up. Think of balance training the way you think of brushing your teeth. It's a daily ritual, a short and simple practice that guards your future well-being. You don't need hours in a gym. Just 5 to 10 minutes, a few times a week, can dramatically reduce your risk of falling. The confidence you gain from steady footing carries into everything you do. Walking the dog, climbing stairs, dancing in the kitchen. Don't wait until a fall reminds you how important your balance truly is. You have the power to strengthen it starting today. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here with me. Your time is deeply appreciated. Now let's talk about mistake number 7. Not drinking enough water. Out of all the lessons I've learned while navigating the journey of aging gracefully, this one truly surprised me. It might sound unrelated, but dehydration can have a direct and dangerous impact on your balance. Mild dehydration, the kind that sneaks up on you quietly throughout the day, can cause symptoms like dizziness, mental fog, fatigue, or that sudden lightheaded feeling when you stand up too quickly. Doctors call it orthostatic hypotension. But whatever the name, the outcome is the same, a much greater risk of falling. The concerning part? As we age, our sense of thirst changes. The signals our bodies used to send, the ones that nudged us to drink, aren't as strong or as obvious. You may not feel thirsty, even when your body is quietly running low on fluids. For years, I thought I was doing just fine when it came to hydration. My usual routine was a warm cup of tea in the morning, a coffee in the afternoon, and maybe a glass of water with dinner. Occasionally, I'd sip water during the day, but I never actually paid attention or kept track. When I finally stopped to calculate my intake, I realized something concerning. I was barely drinking 4 cups of water a day. That's significantly below the 6 to 8 cups generally recommended for someone my age. Then, the warning signs started adding up. I noticed headaches creeping in by late afternoon. Midday fatigue became the norm, and every so often I'd stand up and feel the room slightly spin, forcing me to grab a nearby chair or steady myself against a wall. At the time, I brushed it off, thinking, well, this must be part of aging. But during a routine checkup, my doctor asked a deceptively simple question. How much water are you drinking each day? I paused. I didn't have a solid answer. That's when she explained something that shifted my entire perspective. Beverages like tea and coffee, especially those with caffeine, can actually work against your hydration. They act as mild diuretics, drawing water out of your system instead of replenishing it. Without realizing it, I had been quietly dehydrating myself. That conversation was a turning point. I took action by placing a small notepad beside the fridge and began marking each glass of water I drank throughout the day. My target? At least 6 to 8 cups of plain water, excluding tea, coffee, or sugary drinks. To stay on track, I bought a clear, reusable water bottle with easy-to-read measurement markers. That visual cue helped me stay consistent. Within just a few days, the changes were surprisingly noticeable. My energy felt more stable. The nagging headaches faded. My joints didn't ache as much in the morning. But most importantly, I felt more balanced. No more lightheaded moments when rising from a chair. No more hesitation when stepping across the room. So here's my advice. Make water easy to reach and appealing to drink. Keep a water bottle on your nightstand, by your favorite reading chair, or in your handbag when you're out. If plain water feels dull, try adding a splash of lemon, a slice of cucumber, or even a sprig of mint to liven it up. Herbal teas, low-sodium broths, or caffeine-free options can also support hydration. Just be mindful of any added sugar or sodium content that may sneak in. I also discovered that using a pretty glass or a vibrant, colorful water bottle made a surprising difference. Suddenly, drinking water didn't feel like a boring task. It felt like a small act of self-care, almost like treating myself. Hydration is more than just satisfying thirst. It plays a crucial role in supporting every system in your body, from your brain and joints to your circulation, and yes, even your sense of balance. For women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, staying hydrated is one of the simplest, most affordable, and most effective ways to protect long-term health and reduce the risk of falls. Why wait until dehydration sneaks up and catches you off guard? Start small. Try adding just 1 or 2 extra glasses of water to your daily routine and gradually build from there. Over time, your body will repay you with more energy, better focus, and a noticeable improvement in how steady you feel on your feet. If you're still here watching, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if this message resonates, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're on this journey with me. Now, let's talk about one final, often overlooked mistake: living in what I now call a fall-friendly home. This one might surprise you. You see, our homes are filled with comfort. Familiar furniture, cherished decorations, and habits we've followed for years without a second thought. But as our bodies age and our reflexes slow, the very spaces we've always trusted can become dangerous without us even realizing it. That beautiful area rug that's been in your hallway for 2 decades? It can easily catch your toe. The lamp cord stretched out across the floor? It's a hidden trap. And that single dim light bulb on the staircase? It can mask a missed step that changes everything. I didn't fully grasp the risks in my own home until one particular morning made it crystal clear. I was carrying a full laundry basket, arms stacked high, and as I made my way down the hallway, I caught my foot on the edge of a rug I'd walked across thousands of times without issue. I didn't fall, but I twisted my ankle badly, enough to send me straight to the floor, heart pounding. That ankle kept me off my feet for days, maybe weeks, and forced me to reevaluate everything about how safe my home really was. For nearly 2 weeks, I had to give up my beloved morning walks, all because of a single rug I'd never once questioned. That moment made me see my home differently. It wasn't just the cozy haven I had always taken pride in. It had quietly become a space filled with hidden hazards. I realized it needed to do more than offer comfort. It had to actively support my safety and well-being. So, I took a fresh look at every room, not with nostalgia, but with intention. What I discovered was surprising. In the bathroom, I had smooth tile walls but no grab bars, just a simple bath mat that slid easily under my feet. In the hallway, one lonely, dim bulb cast enough shadow to obscure corners and steps. And in the kitchen, my most used pots and pans were tucked away in a low cabinet, forcing me to bend, twist, and stretch awkwardly just to reach them. Individually, these things seemed harmless, but together, they formed a web of small but serious risks that could have led to much worse. So I started making changes. Simple, inexpensive, and incredibly effective adjustments that made my home safer almost overnight. I got rid of the loose throw rugs and replaced them with non-slip mats that I secured with double-sided tape. I installed grab bars in the bathroom, one by the toilet and another in the shower, to give myself something solid to hold on to. The lighting came next. I replaced every weak yellow bulb with bright, warm-toned LED lights that made every corner of my home easier to navigate. I even added motion sensor nightlights in the hallway, bathroom, and bedroom so that I could move confidently at night without fumbling in the dark. In the kitchen, I reorganized everything. I moved frequently used items, plates, pots, spices, to shelves at waist height so I wouldn't have to crouch or stretch every time I needed something. I also added a sturdy shower chair for days when standing for long felt like too much. None of these changes required a big investment or professional renovation, but what they gave me was priceless. Peace of mind. My home, once full of silent risks, now felt like a partner in my independence, not a threat to it. And here's something important I've come to understand. Making these adjustments isn't about coddling yourself. It's not a sign of weakness. It's about being proactive, smart, and protective of your own safety. It's about making your home a place where you spend most of your time, a true sanctuary, one that's built to support you at every stage of life. Here's a simple but powerful checklist to help make your home safer and more fall-resistant. One thoughtful step at a time. Start by removing common tripping hazards. Pay close attention to loose rugs, especially the ones with curled edges or frayed corners. These can catch your toe in an instant. Either remove them or secure them using non-slip mats or double-sided tape. It's a small fix that can prevent a serious accident. Next, focus on your lighting. Replace dim or outdated bulbs with bright LED lights, at least 800 lumens, to ensure that every room is clearly lit. Add motion sensor nightlights in key areas like hallways, bathrooms, and bedrooms. These will light your path automatically when you get up at night, making your movement safer without disturbing your sleep. Install grab bars in the bathroom, especially near the toilet and inside the shower. These are essential spots where slips are most likely to happen. And if the appearance concerns you, there are plenty of modern grab bars designed to blend beautifully with your decor, so function doesn't have to come at the cost of aesthetics. Organization also plays a big role in your safety. Keep frequently used items, pots, dishes, toiletries, stored at waist height. That way you avoid unnecessary bending, stretching, or climbing. For anything stored high, consider using a reacher tool instead of a step stool. It's a safer and smarter solution. Address cords and clutter. Tape down or reroute electrical cords that stretch across the floor. These are sneaky tripping hazards that are often overlooked. You might also use cord organizers to keep everything neat and tucked away. Don't forget the stairs. Make sure every staircase in your home has a secure, sturdy handrail, preferably on both sides for added balance support. If your steps are slippery, non-slip treads can make a world of difference in your stability going up and down. And in the bathroom, consider adding a sturdy, non-slip shower chair. On days when you're feeling tired or unsteady, sitting while bathing can provide both comfort and confidence. These upgrades don't require a costly home remodel. In fact, most of them take just a bit of time, a modest budget, and a strong intention to protect your well-being. If you're unsure where to begin, take a walk through your home with a trusted friend or family member and ask together, what here might pose a risk? What can we improve today? Many communities offer free or low-cost home safety evaluations through senior centers or occupational therapists. In some cases, Medicare or your insurance may even cover essential safety upgrades like grab bars, so be sure to check with your provider. Most falls happen right at home, but the good news is most are entirely preventable. It's not about living in fear, it's about preparing your space with care and clarity. Your home should be a source of strength, not stress. And by fall-proofing it, you're not only protecting your body, you're preserving your independence, your freedom, and your peace of mind. A truly safe home is one where everyone, grandchildren, friends, or even neighbors, can move around freely and confidently. When your environment supports safety, it uplifts not only your body, but your entire lifestyle. Thank you for walking with me on this journey toward reclaiming balance, confidence, and independence. I hope these 8 common mistakes, along with the simple, practical solutions we've explored together, have sparked new awareness and encouraged you to take empowering steps in your own life. Even the smallest changes can lead to meaningful transformations over time. Now I'd love to hear from you. What insight from this video surprised you the most? Was it something about your shoes? Maybe a small change in your daily routine? Or perhaps you realized your home needs a few adjustments to support your safety. Whatever it is, I invite you to share it in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take their first step toward a safer, stronger future. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to leave a comment, give it a like, and share it with someone you care about. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint, for more practical tips and heartfelt stories designed to help you live smarter, stronger, and with more joy at every stage of life. Wishing you abundant health, lasting happiness, and peace in every step you take. And remember, your journey matters. Take care, and see you in the next video.